What is up, Copy Squad? We're breaking down some copy that I saw on Facebook. Generally, I don't do this because I do have a paid membership service for folks who ask to have me break down their copy. The Copy Squad Inner Circle is what I'm pointing at. So I saw it, and I'm ironically losing the battle with resistance right now. I'm kind of waiting on a phone call, so I'm just giving in and just doing something to kind of break up what I'm working on right now. So let's just jump into it. I'm gonna bring up the screen here. Okay, so this is the copy that I was presented with. And again, if you are interested in me, let me see, let me go ahead and make sure I get my, there's a button here where I can add an image, and I want to put the Copy Squad logo on here. Ooh, look how big that is. I'm gonna put that up here, just so you know. This is basically what I do inside my paid membership group called the Copy Squad. And I usually don't do this, so please don't start sending me a bunch of requests to break down your copy. All right, so let's just go into it. Mitchell says, hey, Mitch, here between patients. Yeah, dude, I'm between projects myself. Let's see. And I probably should turn on my ringer just in case. Okay, so hi, first name. Imagine this. You wake up one morning to an error on your credit report, and because of that error, the cost of all your bills have doubled. Luckily for you, you just imagined it, but millions of people are experiencing it, like I did. Unfortunately, I am one of the millions who have gone through it, and since there were not many credit repair companies around during that time, I had to fix it myself. I hated every moment of the process and had no idea what I was doing. After all, I was a traveling juggling comedian, not a financial expert. It took me years to correct everything, and throughout that time, I went through so many trials and errors. I hate the financial system so much. They gave me so much stress, which is why I made it my life's goal to do everything in my power to pay them back. I'm hosting a webinar where I will walk through my trials and errors so you know to go through them. Avoiding my trials and errors mean you're able to prevent the following. Okay, losing clients because you're unable to remove items from report. Get upset clients because it's taking too long to correct a credit report. Not get leads because of poor reviews. If you give me an hour of your time, I'll make sure you don't waste 2 to 3 years trying to figure out this credit repair business life. Okay, at this time, I would like to switch back to my regular camera because I really feel like I need to figure out if there's any notes about who this is being written for at the top of this. Nope. It doesn't say anything about who it's written for. Okay, so we're going to minimize that, and we're going to talk about the copy now. Okay, so let's talk about what you kind of need let's get down to what I preach over here, right? New, easy, safe, big. Like, these are really easy things to kind of follow, like just a little template. I don't call it a template, call it a formula, call it like just the emotions that you kind of want to trigger. Now, let's start right away with imagine this. You wake up and this happened. So nothing's happened, right? So this is an imagination. This is an imagined problem. Is this a real problem for your customer? Like, who are we writing to? So you need to understand your audience. And once you understand your audience, it'll be really easy to trigger these emotions. Lucky for you, you just imagined it, but millions of people are experiencing it, and I did. So right here, we already have a big problem. Everybody's favorite radio station is WIIFM. That's what's in it for me, right? And I think you are implying there's a benefit here. So let's get more explicit, right? Like, this is implied. Need to be explicit or more explicit. Let's say that, right? Like, what's in it for me? Unfortunately, I am one of those millions. And then you kind of get into a tirade about your life at this point. Completely not really, I mean, you've almost ignored the target audience. Because I don't even know who the target audience is or what benefit you have here. This is like a tirade about what you went through. I'm one of the millions since there were not many credit repair companies. I had to fix it. I hated it. I was traveling. It took me years. They gave me so much stress, which is why, and in this, I don't understand. My life's goal to do everything in my power to pay them back. Who? The financial system you hate? I don't quite understand. Like your debts? So, okay, I get it now. To pay them back, you mean literally in dollars and cents, I think. Okay, so we'll delete that. I am hosting a webinar where I'll walk through my trials and errors, to go through them. Okay, so what we're talking about here lacks safety. Okay, so I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. So safe. Credibility. Why would I listen to you? And this comes back to what's in it for me, right? So, you might say, and because of that error, all your bills have doubled. Yeah, I think the whole setup it's not going to work. Like you start with imagine this, and then you paint a bad picture. Well, if it's me on Facebook reading this, imagine this. Because of that error, your bills have doubled. Well, I'm clicking away now because thank God that shit didn't happen. Like that's the end of the conversation. I don't really need to read any further. Like again, this is all about you and what you went through. Avoiding my trials and errors means you'll be able to prevent the following. Losing clients. Clients. What kind of clients? What are we talking about? I thought you're traveling juggler and you got financial problems. Upset clients. Not get leads because of poor reviews. So again, not really sure who we're writing to, and maybe if I knew that, this would make more sense. But at this moment, I still think it's critically damaged. That there's nothing really in it for the audience. So what you might do instead is you wake up one morning to an error on your credit report. And because of that error, the cost of your bills have doubled. So don't imagine it. Make it real. No, don't imagine. Make it real, all right? And is this a real thing? Like, is this something that's happened to somebody? Like, tell a story that has, like, some basis in reality. Or I'm hoping that, like, if you do some research and you look up, that's the thing, I don't know what problem we're solving. Like, you have an error on your credit report, your bills have doubled, and you had to fix it yourself. And why does an error cause all your bills to double? Like, I got too many questions here. And I think you could really start by doing something. Lucky for you, I did this. So this is where your big promise needs to go. And when I say the word should, this is where some sort of big promise or benefit should appear. That is my opinion, okay? When I use the word should, that just means, there could be a better way, but this is how I kind of look at it and go about it. Yeah, I don't know what's in it for me. I don't know what problem we're solving. I'll kind of elaborate here. Now, let's not say, can you remedy? Let's say, are you solving? Like, has an error on your credit report ever screwed up your bills? Well, I've been through that. Like, okay, let's talk about how we would maybe rewrite this. Has an error on your credit report cost you? And now we can do some research, right? Research. And we would say, according to, actually, let's move this over here. According to the research, 1 in 3 Americans spends, 2 months of their lives dealing with this same problem. Well, I was one of them, and now I've figured out the golden solution to fixing it in just 4 simple steps. It takes 20 minutes of your time, and once it's set up, it works on autopilot to fix your credit woes. Check out my webinar and live the easy, super relaxed life that folks with no credit problems live, right? Like that's kind of the pitch, right? According to research, 1 in 3 Americans spends 2 months of their lives dealing with the same problem. Unfortunately, I was one of them, but now, I figured out the golden solution, and that's kind of like I've been to hell and back. And if you have dealt with it, get specific, right? Specifics, right? Let's talk about how, this is a place where you can employ the easy anybody emotion. I had $400,000 in debt that I was able to wipe out in 3 months, and I'm a traveling, juggling comedian, right? There's the easy anybody emotion at work there, because now it's so easy, a traveling, juggling comedian can do it. All right, so what I want to do now is see if I've got anything going on over here. Michael says, I wrote this, thank you for going over it. Says the niche are people who want to create a credit repair business. This is great. And the people who are getting the emails signed up for an email list after reading an article on our SaaS site about credit repair. Okay, so this is for people who want to create a credit repair business. People who are getting the emails signed up for an email list after reading an article on our SaaS site about credit repair. So when they read about credit repair, are they start a credit repair business? So the pitch I'm making here doesn't make sense anymore, because I'm saying how to get rid of the debt or how to fix it. Has an error on your credit report cost you? So people in this niche are people who want to create a credit repair business. Oh, well, we're not speaking to any of the problems of a credit repair business guy. So at that point, I can basically just delete all this. It's not worth anything. So what does a credit repair business need help doing? Do they need help getting more clients? I want to create a credit repair business. Well, geez Louise. Why would they imagine this? This sounds like you're talking to a person struggling with credit repair. The people who are getting the email sign up for an email list after reading an article on our SaaS site about credit repair. Yeah, I don't know. The niche are people who want to create a credit. So who are you selling to? If there are people who signed up on the SaaS site about credit repair, like people who have damaged credit, why would they want to start a credit repair business? Please elaborate. This seems very disjointed to me. TikTok. I know there's a 30-second delay between what I'm doing live and the actual YouTube and the comments system, so I'm going to kind of stall somehow. Oh, Swan says, hey Kyle, what's up? These are people more interested in starting a credit repair business. Most haven't created it yet. Okay, so they're interested in starting a credit repair. Well, then you sell them on credit. Okay, so, all right. We make it very easy to start a business. Oh, cool. Well, then this is all research, man. This is all... Okay. Hey, folks. All right, watch. Our software is super simple for running that business. All right, we can go back to research. Okay, check this out. Did you know 4 out of 5 Americans struggle? Wait, here we go. Let's do this. Did you know the credit repair industry is worth, and this is research, $4 billion, right? That's because 4 out of 5 Americans struggle with credit repair on a daily basis or something like that, right? And it's not just folks who are bad with money. There are, I don't know, how else would I do this? Maybe I could say something like that. And it's not just folks who are bad with money. Lotto winners, movie stars, you name it. Everyone struggles with credit repair. So you could say something like, okay, let's do something like this. We're gonna make it why now, okay? So did you know the credit repair industry is worth, so there's big, right? That's because 4 out of 5 Americans struggle with credit repair on a daily basis. Not just the folks who are bad with money, lotto winners, movie stars, you name it. Everyone struggles with credit repair. In, we could say in 2018, 300,000 people complained, right? So essentially what we're doing is we're creating the size of the opportunity here, okay? So there's what you've got. You got a big opportunity. This is a giant opportunity. We're starting there, okay? So that's why there's never been a better time to start your own credit repair business. That's why that's why there's never been, all right, it's so easy to do even if you don't currently know much about credit. There's really only a few things you must understand. And I'm making this up. Like, I don't know anything. I like the direction you're going with this. Thanks. I'm making this all up because it all simply comes down to understanding how a credit score functions, and there's only like 3 things to know. All right, so now you're setting it up. You've created a little knowledge gap, and it's not the age of your accounts or your debt to income or any of that. When starting a credit repair business, you need to know these, or any of that. You need to know 3 counterintuitive things, right? Okay, so what you got to do is you can't let them think they know what the solution is. So as soon as you tell them there's only 3 things you need to know, this is what they're going to guess. So then you say, nope, you don't know what it is. You need to sign up to my webinar. So you would want to expand on this and make it some sort of tease. I learned while studying, who's a credit guy? I don't know, just say Tony Robbins. And who's another rich person? Robert Kiyosaki and blah, blah. Something like that. I spent years doing research or something like that, and when starting a credit repair business, there's only like 3 counterintuitive things you must know to make $100,000 per month. Get it a little specific. To discover, don't say learn, to discover all 3, simply sign up to my free don't call it webinar, training below. Okay, and the reason we're not using certain words, we don't say learn because it sounds difficult. We don't say webinar because a webinar is just another word for a long sales pitch. So let's call it a free training. Click here now. Let's say, you got to give some reason to click here now. So you got to give some sense of urgency, and you can modify this however you want. You can say I can only accept 10 new clients today. That's kind of bleh. Like, everyone kind of knows that false scarcity. So maybe there's something better you can do. So click. So you can say this. You can say this. The webinar can only support 45 attendees at once. Something like that, right? So click here now and reserve your spot before they're all gone! Exclamation point. There you go. All right, so there's your whole sales, there's your whole ad. That's kind of like the format, right? So yeah, it's really about, you're pitching the business. You're pitching the sizzle, not the steak. And you're really trying to explain that this is a big opportunity, that it can make them a bunch of money. 4 out of 5. So see, it's a big thing that there's your opportunity, right? That's because a bunch of people struggle with it. In 2018, 300,000 people complained about it. It's not, and again, all we're doing here, this is called the lead. This is the lead, where we're basically setting up the size and scope and range and massiveness of the opportunity. So that's why there's never been a better time. This is the why now, okay? That's why there's never been a better time to start your own credit repair business. Okay, well, the first objection is like, well, I don't know shit about credit repair. Well, it's so easy to do, even if you don't know much about credit, okay? So you got to anticipate those objections, blast through them. It comes down to understanding. So then, okay, you have to, this is a claim. It's so easy to do. So you got to elaborate on that. So all it comes down to is understanding these core things, okay? Well, what are they? Well, you think it's age of accounts, debt to income, that stuff, but no. I don't like this line. I'm not a fan of this, but I think I know what I'm trying to convey here, which is that I've got, here, let me write it in here so it'll be there. I have access to what's called secret knowledge, okay? And this is the only emotion. So new has an alter ego, right? New, easy, safe, and big are my big four emotions. So new's alter ego is only. That means this knowledge is only available through me and it's secretive. Easy's alter ego is anybody. That means it's so easy that anybody can do it. That makes it even easier. Safe is predictable. Okay, we could probably level in some of that, but this is a short Facebook ad. So maybe you could write up some testimonials, case studies, statistics about how predictable this opportunity is. And then the other thing is it's big and you get fast results from it. Okay, so these are the big four emotions and their alter egos. When starting a credit repair business, just know these three counterintuitive things. So you got to say something like, this is another way to impart the secret knowledge angle is to use what I call blood, sweat, and tears. So after studying, hundreds of theories, reading dozens of books and thousands of hours of research. So let's get rid of these stupid, I don't like using these guru names. I uncovered, something about secret knowledge. We're starting a credit repair business. You only need to know three counterintuitive things. Okay, so there. Let's see, is there anything else? And basically what you can do is go back and, with your own knowledge and everything you know about the big four emotions, you can kind of just weave that in here, right? So you kind of see how it works. I hope this was helpful. Let's see if we got any more comments or questions. Michael says, thanks, man. Michael says, I was already planning on signing up for the squad, but this makes me even more excited. Oh, yeah. Where is it? I can't see my own hands. Okay, my hands are pointing. The squad is up there in that corner. If you want to sign up for the Copy Squad Inner Circle, this is kind of what I do. Is we get together, we talk copy every other Tuesday. So this Tuesday, I'm actually dropping sales letter breakdowns. So it's sales letter breakdown, and then we do copy critiques like this with each other. Then a sales letter breakdown, then another copy critique, sales letter breakdown, copy critique. We do that like in a rolling Tuesday schedule. So today, this afternoon, I have to upload the new sales letter breakdown to the library. But yeah, that's what the Copy Squad Inner Circle entails up there. If you want to sign up, it's at kylewriter.com/squad. David says, hey Kyle, bought the book and going through all your content. Hey David, thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. Michael says, is there hope for me? Haha. Dude, definitely. I was talking about it in my live yesterday that when I submitted my first draft of my first promo to my first copy chief, he told me it was the worst piece of copy he'd ever read, right? So I think copywriting is a skill. I do not think it's like an inborn talent. Again, I compare it to a language, right? I call copywriting a professional language. And the reason I call it a professional language is because it's the same way you learn accounting, right? It's the same way you learn law. If you want to learn how to speak accounting, accounts receivable, cash balance, PP&E, accounts payable, liabilities and assets. When you learn that language, you're an accountant working in a field, you learn that language. Just like if you're a lawyer, you learn the language of law, you learn the jargon, you learn how things work. Copywriting is no different. I think because marketers are the people who specialize in copy, they're exceptionally good at painting it as this some sort of like insurmountable thing. You need my fill-in-the-blank templates, I think, are just probably the most damaging, because instead you can just teach the very simple principles of trying to get people hyped about a new, easy, safe, and big opportunity, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, once you learn how to communicate those emotions as you would any language, as you would communicate things in any language, once you adapt that mindset, basically you're learning just like an accountant learns how to speak accounting. You're learning just like a lawyer learns how to speak law. A copywriter learns how to speak copy. Okay, so it's just a language. It isn't a skill. Anybody with enough time and persistence can pick this skill up. And it's just like if you moved to Mexico and you had a working knowledge of basic Spanish, which you have a working knowledge of basic copywriting right now. But if we drop you in Mexico and leave you there for 2 years, I'm talking like 2 years though, like you got to take it seriously. If we leave you in Mexico for 2 years, when you come back, you're going to have a much stronger knowledge of Spanish. You might not have lost your accent, but you'll be able to sit down and speak Spanish, right? So it's the same thing with copywriting. A lot of times people pick up a book and they go, oh, I read the book. I got the secrets. I'm a professional copywriter. I should get $5,000 a copy sample or something like that. And the truth is, an accountant, I got my master's in accounting, all right? I went to graduate school. I picked up all that debt. So you go to school every day. You study every day to become an accountant. You take the certified public accounting exam to become a CPA, right? And that's a pain in the ass of an exam. You do all those things to become an accountant. Well, what does a copywriter do? Well, how do you pay your dues as a copywriter? A lawyer goes to law school. A lawyer takes the bar exam, all right? And they spend years in study to learn that language. As a copywriter, you still have to pay your dues. And I say all this to say that it is doable. It's just a process. It's just a process where you have to just get yourself ingrained and immersed in that language, okay? And I'll say that it's probably easier to do than law and accounting. It's probably more fun than law and accounting. And if you do it right and do it well and do it with persistence regularly, it will pay you a hell of a lot more than law and accounting, unless you're like one of those guys who like is a lawyer for like a senator because they got so much dirt they have to cover up. Oswan says, copywriting takes time, but you'll get there. Yeah, exactly. It's really just a matter of persistence and just doing the work. Okay, cool. So I hope this was helpful. If you want, I think what I'll do is I will take this and I'll copy this link and I'll put this in the description so that if you want to pull the comments or anything like that. I wonder if, should I let people comment? It's hard to say. I'm not sure if I should let people comment because of the way people behave on YouTube, and I think that it'd be more valuable to you than. But then I don't think you can see my comments. I don't know how this system works. But here, I think what I'll do, I'll change it to people can comment and just, sorry for the douchebaggery that will inevitably ensue because of YouTube and the people on it. All right, so that's in there now, so you can check it out and enjoy that. And no more questions or comments. Okay, cool. I'm going to sign off. And the last thing I'm going to say before I do sign off is that up in that upper right-hand corner is a link to the Copy Squad Inner Circle. This is basically what we do. We do on Tuesdays copy critiques, and we talk about marketing and what your particular business is going through and how we can improve that. So if you're trying to run this ad and you've got a business or whatever and you're like, hey, I'm not having much luck with my ads, well then we say, well, what's wrong with it? How can we improve it? Can we do some more research? Can we make it more focused on your prospect? And are we overlooking something? We get together and do that. And then every other Tuesday we do sales letter breakdowns. So Copy Squad Inner Circle up there. Check it out, please, and thank you. One last check for comments and whatnot, and then I'm signing off. All right, that'll do it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace out, Copy Squad.